Hello, everybody.
I'm Asia.
And I'm Aaron. And you're listening to
Deadly Shit.
Aw, yeah. We're back.
Yeah, we are.
Episode number 4.
Oh my God.
Wow.
What number 4?
I didn't think we'd get past 1.
No, honestly. Yeah, no.
We had the hopes, and we are still trucking along. If you have stayed up until this far, thank you. We appreciate your viewership.
Yes, 1000%. Thank you for being here. Like, you go. You are the apple of my eye.
We do this for you.
We do this for you. I love it.
All the good things.
All of the things. So, you guys, it's time for a little shameless plug.
Plug it in, plug it in.
Okay, you guys, here we go. Aaron, would you like to be part of our awesome Discord group?
Totally.
Then join Patreon.
Okay.
Would you also like to get episodes early and ad-free?
Obviously.
Join our Patreon.
Join it.
And would you like a special shout-out during an episode?
Yes.
Then join us on Patreon.
Join it.
All those things you can get for the cheapest tier at only $5, which is cheaper than a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
$5.
At Starbucks.
Starbuckies.
So yeah. Don't feel like you have to. But if you want to join us and support,
Thank you.
we would love you.
Mucho.
Mucho. We are hoping that we can start like calling out people on our episodes.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
If you want a shout out,
The more
go
the
ahead.
merrier.
The more the merrier. Go ahead and join. Patreon is patreon.com/deadlysipspodcast. Instagram is Deadly Sips Podcast, and TikTok, you can follow us at Deadly Sips Podcast. Go figure. And if you guys, we want to start doing some like listener stories and experiences. So if you have any personal experiences with any case out there,
Yes.
or some paranormal experiences, then send them our way at our email at, what do you think it is? Yes, deadlysipspodcast@gmail.com.
Spot on. I knew it
Spot
the whole
on.
time. I was testing her.
Lastly, if you want to follow us on our personal accounts, both TikTok and Instagram, we are Asia and Aaron. And if you're on YouTube, guess what? I've been lying to you all this time. It is Asia and Aaron. And my name is spelt funky.
Why?
My parents.
Those
Blame
parents.
them. Ashia is how you spell my name. I know it's weird.
Isha.
Asia. But it's Asia and...
Aaron.
How do you spell that, Aaron?
A.A. Ron.
A.A. Ron. There's our shameless plug of the week. Now, enough of the shameless plug. Aaron, tell us about this week's deadly sip of the week. What have you made for me?
I have made you what I'm calling, as a plug into the episode as well, the Lost Colony Elixir.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yes. It is made with some black rum, grenadine, honey, lime juice, and Angustia bitters.
Yummy. It's good. It's a good one. I can't wait. We did some fun pre-recording pictures and
yeah.
recordings, and it's yummy. And
An upshoot.
you guys, YouTube can see this, and you can see it on the pictures when I post it on our socials. Because we post, that's another thing, we post all of our deadly sips of the week on our social medias. And we do them early as well on our Patreon. But look at this. Look at that cute little thing you did.
I tried.
So fancy. Look at you. All right. Any fun things for this week? What?
No.
No, nothing much to report. On our end, we're just still trudging away.
Got rained out this week. We're
We
going to go
did.
to the zoo today, but
Yeah, we're going to try to go tomorrow, though.
tomorrow.
That would be nice.
I would like that.
Yeah.
Out of the house.
Get out of the house. I need to get out of the house. A lot. All right, should we get into this week's episode?
Yes.
It is Aaron's episode, so you know it's going to be good.
We'll see. Hopefully we'll do better than last time. All right.
You did
so,
great. What are you talking about, Home Slice?
We shall see. So, For my episode, I wanted to do one of my favorite mysteries of all time.
What is that?
It is called the Croatoan Mystery.
You would.
Oh, yeah. Spooky spooks.
E-
I think I first heard it when I was in 4th grade, give or take a grade or two. But I just remember reading it in history class, and that was probably my my introduction into everything paranormal.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
I love that for you.
Because, of course, my mind just goes straight to, they be ghosted.
Literally.
Just boom, vanished.
This is
Another
your
timeline.
early beginnings in paranormal. I love that.
I think it was like a Hulu series called Airplane or something, where like they were on a plane and suddenly they like hit turbulence or something and then came back 20 years later.
You're thinking called Airplane.
I think it's called Airplane.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. It has the dude from Once Upon a Time in it.
Yeah.
It's not called Airplane.
Okay.
Oh, what is it called?
Is it Flight something or
Flight something 21 or
I gotta look it up now.
Yeah, you gotta Google it. We're too deep in this not to.
Manifest. Nowhere close to what I was thinking.
Nope. I was like, I know it is.
It's not Airplane.
I know what it's not. I know it's not Airplane.
Well, we figured it out, ladies and gentlemen. It is Manifest. So I was just thinking they just jumped into some kind of crazy time warp and they're gonna show up somewhere. Watch it be today, and they're like, "What is going on?"
Oh.
All the technology, all the different crap going on, and good things too, I guess. Uh-oh.
Sorry, my coaster fell. You guys probably heard that. A bonk.
Kadunk. All right. So, intro. In 1590, Governor John White returned to Roanoke Island to find his entire settlement gone. No bodies. No sign of a battle. Only one cryptic clue. The word Croatoan carved into a post, and crow carved into a tree. What happened to more than 100 Englishmen, women, and children, including infants, who vanished from the shores of what is now North Carolina?
I've been there.
I lived there.
I lived there for 3 years.
Tonight, we step into the shifting shadows of that mystery, walking through history, archaeology, and memory to see what evidence might bring us closer to an answer. Ooh.
Insert spooky music here.
A little history behind, or the people that showed up.
Okay.
They were colonists coming from England, and it was under the sponsorship of Sir Walter Raleigh, which, fun fact, also was the new capital of Raleigh, or North Carolina.
Is that why they named it Raleigh?
Probably. So they came over with 115 settlers, men, women, and children, and they landed on Roanoke Island. Among them was John White, who was the first governor coming over, and he had a daughter named Eleanor Dare, and she was pregnant, and she actually had the first baby ever, I guess, documented over in the New World, and her name was Virginia Dare.
Oh, okay. Virginia Dare. I dare you?
I dare you.
I dare you.
Yeah, she was the first English child born in the New World.
Coolio.
So after, establishing themselves where they landed, they started to struggle a lot. They couldn't get any of their supplies. Food was sparse where they were at, and it was just, they were going through a lot of hardships. And a lot of the neighboring native groups also were kind of, the relationships were kind of shaky.
Not super friendly.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a bunch of white people coming over into your country and just, hey, I'm
Running
just going to
amok.
sprout my house right here. Surprise.
Yeah, I'd be mad too.
And of course, bringing all the different new diseases that came with that. So they were
Yummy.
not very happy about it.
Yummy. You, David.
Yes. So, the colonists got together, and their governor, John White, was to return to England and bring back supplies. So this was in 1587.
Okay.
Now, White agreed, but he left back specific instructions of, like, if something were to happen or, just follow these instructions.
So, clarification.
Yes.
White is the guy who first led the whole thing.
Yes.
Okay.
He was, but, he was the governor,
Okay.
but it was all sponsored by Raleigh,
Raleigh.
who was back in England.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
We're clear.
the instructions that he left behind were if they were to relocate while he was gone, that they should move 50 miles inland, where, you have a lot more, possibly more resources and everything.
Yeah, not so on the coast and hurricanes and storms and
Yes, all the storms
What?
always happen.
not.
Went through plenty of those through my childhood. They were interesting. So yes, he said go 50 miles inland, and you should carve a message telling where they went. If they were forced to leave under duress, leave a cross symbol. Okay? So, if you know where you're going, not under duress, write it down anywhere. And then if you are under duress, cross symbol. Alright, so, right off the bat, that's kind of, knowing the history a little bit, I'll kind of go ahead and that put your mind in perspective of what you think could have happened. So White set sail, landed in England. He was just thinking, I'm probably going to have a bunch of supplies already waiting for me, and I'll just, boom, head back the next week. Now, during this time, they were in war with Spain.
Conquistadors.
Queen Elizabeth said, no one leaves. Got to keep all the ships here, protect the harbor, protect the country.
Yeah.
So
Country first.
right off the bat, he was getting delayed a lot. Now, they eventually won the war, which the Spanish Armada was the biggest navy in the world, so England being able to do that was like
A big win.
A big win for them. So after that, he was okay. Now I can go over to Raleigh. We'll talk to him. Let's get settled. Let's get going. He had his mind set elsewhere. So he was wanting to go over to Ireland and do more colonies over there and start spreading. So his idea was like, no, I'm done with the New World. We're going somewhere else. We're like, God, I have 115 people. I got to get back. I would think so too. I'm like, so you're just dumping us there and just blowing us off. So this also put a damper in things, and it delayed him even further. So he had to go out and find new private investors who would, give all the supplies and everything so he can return back to the Roanoke Island.
Yeah.
All right. He eventually found some privateers that were heading to the West Indies, to go get spices, more trade goods and whatnot. And they said, yeah, we'll take you along, drop you off on the way. Why not?
Solid. Like one does.
Exactly.
I'm just privateer. Let's go.
Exactly. So they set sail, and they came back so this is a little excerpt from the National Park Services, because they have the story behind it, because it's kind of like a protected place.
Yeah.
Like a national
driving
park or
by
monument
it.
So it's protected. So it's under nps.gov, and it says, landing on August 18th, 1590, White and his men found remnants of the colonists, but no signs of life.
Oh.
Arriving at the site of the 1587 settlement, White found crow carved into a tree and Croatoan carved into a palisade. There were no signs of a struggle or of the colonists leaving in haste. Yep. So he shows up, and technically the instructions that he left behind were where you were going, so I know what's going on. So when they were looking around, they didn't see any, skeletons, bodies, graves, nothing. But the settlement that was there before, like they had the houses, huts, things like that. There were a couple of things dismantled, but not like destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like everybody had packed up and left, but they left the entire settlement.
Yeah. Left the entire settlement, like I said, just completely disappeared with just the remnants of what was on the tree.
That's wild, and there was no cross or no X. Okay, so they were like, okay, we're just gonna leave and go somewhere.
My little, off story here is so they got Croatoan on one thing, but only were able to write Crow on the tree. Like, did they get, under duress at that point? They couldn't do anything else, or where they were beamed up, Scotty.
Aliens.
Aliens.
The guy with the crazy aliens. If you know, you know.
So, that's my little side tangent. But you did leave, the instructions. So, okay, great. Awesome. They told me where they're going. Let's head there. And, of course, during August, what do you have a lot during in North Carolina? Storms. So that delayed them even further to go to Croatoan during that time, which is now called Hatteras Island.
Wait.
There's a big old lighthouse there, too.
There is.
Mm-hmm.
We've been to Hatteras.
Been to Hatteras.
We've been to Hatteras. That's the one that we've been to so many times. Oh, like thrice.
Mm-hmm.
So
Many
they
times.
said, so Croatoan was Cape Hatteras at the time?
Hatteras, yep. Later known as Hatteras Island.
Okay. Which, if you haven't been, it's a really cool place to visit.
It is.
You should go. It's really cool.
I have like the little, because I guess during, I want to say it was Spanish Inquisitions. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Like when they sailed over,
Yeah.
a ship ran aground, and the ship was holding a bunch of horses. So now there's a
Yeah.
bunch of horses just right in the middle of the ocean.
It's the coolest thing. You're on a boat and you just see this horse in the middle of the ocean. You're like, what the actual hell? there's a horse out here in the middle of nowhere, and it's just grazing on the banks.
Yeah.
You can even go
So-
camping on those little islands.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I have this irrational fear of tsunamis.
Oh.
Even though they hardly ever happen on that side,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's always a possibility. And my brain's just like, nope,
Nope, not gonna happen.
not gonna
It's not
happen.
gonna do it.
Would I want to go out there though and go hike? Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
So, back to the storm. So yes, the storm disrupted his plans, and unfortunately, they weren't able to ever go back. They turned tail and went back to England, and never knowing what happened to the lost colony. Which, after this, is kind of weird because there's nothing about John White until he dies back in England. Or is it Ireland?
Weird.
One of the two places, but that's it.
That's just it.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't know what happened.
You know what happened?
That
So
is-
for centuries, it was just lost.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened, and then, of course, we find out during writings and journals. They found out about it later, and then that's when everyone starts to, what happened? Let's find out.
Let's find out what happened to these people. Just 100 people, but don't just go floop into the sky.
So now we're gonna get into the theory part, or theories
Okay.
part of the history lesson here.
Okay.
So theory A is the assimilation with the Croatoan or Hatteras peoples. Okay. So that's probably the most discussed theory is what happened was that the colonists relocated to Croatoan Island and integrated with the natives that were there
Yeah, that makes sense to
because
me.
they needed, they needed help, they needed resources, and they had no one else to turn to. So why not, beef up this relationship, guys? Hey, can I bunk with you?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to go and seek that out, especially if they're being peaceful.
Yeah.
If that's the case, anyway. Like,
Right.
if that's what happened, that makes the most sense. Especially when them writing peacefully Croatoan on the tree.
So, one of the theories that why this was based off was because of descendantship or descendants. So, a lot of them had more English traits
Okay.
than what you would normally find with the certain group of people that were there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, on the island, they found different pieces of pottery.
Okay.
And so, you have the pottery, the descendants, the stories that also were dropped down from the descendants of those native tribes. And so you get all these different theories. Now, another part was how they said, if you were to move 50 miles inland. So there were also archaeological sites that they found English pottery or English, pottery pieces and everything in this area that was along the Chowan River, which was the 50 miles inland that
Yeah.
White said to do. He was never able to go down. He decided to go to Croatoan because that's what was written on the tree.
Yeah.
So now the biggest counter to that theory is that through the years, the English would come by and trade frequently with the natives there, and so this could have been debunked by, oh, this wasn't the lost colony, this was just trade goods that eventually got, passed down and dropped.
That's so hard.
Yeah,
Is that actually evidence of them being there or them just trading?
exactly. Because you have it all happening around the same time period when the English were finally coming over, and once it did, it started upping the trade route. They have the technology to time date things, but I don't think it's pinpointed just quite yet. Like, it's a big range still.
Mm-hmm.
Which I will get to later in this episode about a certain device. The next theory, which is widely talked about, but again, just based off of the instructions given by White, was that the lost colony was massacred or, a violent conflict happened.
Okay.
Either this happened by local tribes or enemy European forces. This was a common fate just because of all the different countries that were trying to, discover the new world and claim it for their own. And of course, the big looking for gold, El Dorado.
El Dorado.
Sing it, girl.
Sing it, Elton John.
So yeah, this is kind of shot down sometimes just because in White's recordings it says there was no evidence of burning, no visible battle damage, and of course the lack of bodies and or graves.
And I feel like there'd be a lot of stuff left behind that you'd be like, why were you leaving this type of thing?
Yeah.
That's just me.
Now there's another quote in here, I think from the Smithsonian, that was one of White's recordings that said he even had, I think it was either his hut or tent or whatever he had beforehand, before he left. There was little stuff there, and it was just rust and maps damaged by water damage because of the rain, like nothing like violently, just
Of his tent?
corrosion.
Wait, I'm confused.
Or like his hut that he had there before he left. So he arrived there with the 1587 settlement.
Yes.
He had his own house. And so
Okay.
he left.
He
And
left
so he
and
left
came
some
back.
stuff behind because, I'm going to come back.
Mhm.
I'm gonna leave my books here. I'm going to come back. So
And he said it was all just...
it was just time corrosion. Like I said, the rain, the maps were damaged by the rain. His armor that he had there was all rusty.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing that he found there, really. And like I
It
said,
was
just
his own stuff that he'd left.
exactly. But so with that theory, you would find a lot more things like weapons, bodies, graves, but it just wasn't there. So again, that one was also kind of shut off. I also thought, okay, they were slain, but you have animals there like wolves, bears, coyotes, whatever else that could have taken the remains of the people and just ran off with them.
Yeah, but I also feel like there'd be a lot... Like, people back then, they were really in tune with tracking and signs of that, and I feel they'd be able to see that. And animals are messy. They wouldn't clean up the whole place either.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Because even then, like animal scat and stuff, you would still find remnants of bones and whatnot. Next theory was the instructions to move inland. So this is where they would move up the river toward the I'm going to butcher this name, but the Albemarle Sound. The rationale being that inland had more reliable resources for food and the native groups that were not where they were. So farther inland, there was a different group that, maybe we can, tag up with this
other group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, from National Park Service, was that they moved, like they said, they followed John White's left instructions indicating that they moved and should reload 50 miles in. Archaeologists have for decades scoured the sites around, now it's called Bertie County, for evidence, which many English-style artifacts have been found, though not yet a definitive village or cluster of settlements that happened around. Again, Could it have been them? Yeah. Other trade routes with other, European countries or different settlements at the time could have as well. So not very definitive. Next theory was Spanish raids or European interference. So again, the English and Spain were at war at this time. So yes, they were at war back, in Europe, but also they were still sending out ships to the New World to discover, claim their land, move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the ships could have easily came by, attacked, captured the colonists, took all their stuff. Maybe they threw them off the trails. Oh, go to Croatoan Island. They're over there. Could be a red herring. Could also be, this is where we took everybody, and who knows what happened. Yet no credible records were found of the Spanish going to this spot, or anything saying, oh, we ran into an English settlement, we killed them all. Nothing. No Spanish records of it at all. And again, the lack of battle. So
Yeah.
graves,
Lack of evidence of
weapons,
something.
and
Yeah.
such. Yeah. All right. Next theory is starvation, disease, and voluntary exodus. So exodus is going on their own trek, which again was the whole plan. Hey, this is where we're going. Follow us. Now, when everything was going on again, so they had their food shortages, there was a drought going on, of course, the diseases of both parties, the settlement, the natives, both, passing on the different germs that weren't there before and now are. And so this was forcing them to leave or voluntarily merging with the groups for survival. They broke into smaller groups, so not just one main group went one way. It could have been multiple different ones spreading across. It was just too much going on. To which, again, I think that makes a little bit more sense with the assimilation with the other groups. Just again because of the lack of graves or anything else. Because if it was starvation, they would have had graves there.
Yeah.
Maybe they were like so close, like, no, we have to figure something out. Let's just go.
Hail Mary.
Hail Mary it.
Yeah.
Or again, aliens.
Aliens. Aliens.
Yeah.
My only thing is the Croatoan on the tree. That
Yeah.
was like their clear thing.
The clearest thing.
And if they still time through it like Crow again, it's weird that they didn't finish it. So it's like, what was that about? That
Yeah.
they didn't finish it. Or maybe they started with the CRO and the tree first,
Mhm.
and the guy's like, I don't know how to spell this. So another guy wrote the other one.
The tree wasn't big enough, and so they're like, oh, let's just follow down the. I don't even know what a palisade is. What is that?
I don't know.
Well,
A palisade? You're asking the wrong girl.
Oh, okay. Do you remember kind of like in the movie Pocahontas, where like when they were building the walls around the fort, there would be like a bunch of trees, like a bunch of little trees stacked up for defense.
No, but
Okay.
continue.
So basically, it's a defensive fence or wall made of pointed wooden stakes.
Oh, wait. Okay, yes. Okay.
So that's what they wrote it on.
Okay.
So that's what the full word Croatoan was on. The tree only had crow. So could be like maybe they just messed up and like, crap, I need to find something.
I'm not educated, but that's my first guess.
Another theory, like I said, was with the migration boat was the discovery of the so-called Dare stones. So remember there was Virginia Dare.
Dare, yeah.
Yeah. There was Eleanor Dare and Virginia Dare. Okay, so Eleanor was the mom, Virginia was the daughter.
Okay.
So the Dare stones.
So they were with the Croatoan people. I mean, I'm sorry, the encampment.
Yeah. They were
They were
with the
there with
settlement.
them.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were in that settlement. So it was a series of inscribed stones that were left by the colonists, especially Eleanor, as messages to John White. This claimed the group had migrated as far as present-day Georgia.
Wow.
So this is a whole other route that's supposedly where they went. But all of the scholars, however, have dismissed these stones as hoaxes, especially because, anybody could have written that down. Like, someone shows up on a thing and says, oh, yeah, we were here. So-and-so was here. Red herrings to throw you off the case and like, oh, I want to be a part of history, so I'm going to write stones and throw them and someone's going to find them out. So it could have just been...
But this is just my brain thinking. Couldn't you be able to tell if they were actually inscribed in 15 whatever? And if they were, that would seem more likely, but maybe not. I'm just curious
Yeah.
about that. Maybe it's harder to debunk.
Yeah, because
'Cause
it
that's
would
hard
depend
to
on where
tell.
they found the stones. Like if it was like buried like within layers of earth, like possibly. So this leads into more. So we're past the theories. Now we're going to try more into archaeology and recent discoveries that were made.
Okay. The science.
The science.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
So this is in the Smithsonian magazine. 20 years ago, archaeologists unearthed a ring on Hatteras Island with what appeared to be I'm going to read this correctly, a heraldic lion motif. It's very fancy.
Huh.
Let me see if I can pull up the...
A lion.
Yeah.
Which isn't something you would find
Yeah.
native, I would think.
Not native.
They were not lion. Oh, they're mountain lions. Not like lions.
Yeah. This is the ring.
Ooh.
They're like, oh, it's gold. And it is from England. So, one of the local jewelers declared it gold. An early conjecture linked it to an English aristocratic family that was on that settlement was the Kendall family. Now, a couple years later, they were like, okay, let's take a look at this more. We have the technology. We can kind of see what's going on here.
Okay.
A test was done at none other than ECU, East Carolina University in Greenville, North Carolina.
I've been to ECU.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we lived for
Yep.
3 years.
You lived in Greenville.
That's where you did your school.
I did.
And I had my baby.
Ooh, yeah.
Yep.
So.
TMI. The things you guys never asked for.
Exactly. All right, so this is where I talked about earlier about the fancy little device that they had. I love their description of it. So they used an X-ray fluorescent device that looked like a cross between a ray gun and a hairdryer.
A ray gun and a hairdryer.
Yes. Don't know why that was super pertinent, but it was important to me that I was like, it needs to be described to where people can understand what this thing looked like.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't understand what a ray gun looks like, but I know what a hairdryer looks like.
There you go. All right.
Dead.
Now it turns out the researchers had it wrong.
What?
A lab test, which was the fancy little ray gun and hairdryer,
Mm-hmm.
revealed high levels of copper, zinc, and traces of silver, lead, tin, and nickel.
So it's not gold.
It's all brass.
Ew, David, get that brass away from me.
Exactly.
We don't want that brass. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like it not being, what does it mean it not being gold?
I'm thinking if it was one, like from an aristocratic family, they wouldn't have had lowered themselves to buying lesser metals, and it had to be gold, is my understanding. But they could have been, from a lower class person that couldn't afford something nice and shiny and got a brass ring instead.
Mm-hmm.
But it was largely debunked because it was not directly tied to a colonist.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in fin. Now, again, back to Smithsonian, they talked about the pottery fragments and inland site discoveries. In the Smithsonian magazine, there was an article titled Pottery Fragments May Hold Clues to Roanoke Colonists' Fate. The teams that worked in Bertie County, which was where they found, that was inland, they found the pottery at, discovered shards of English, German, French, and Spanish ceramics.
That's a lot of ceramics.
It's a lot of different ceramics. Which I'm like, how can you tell what different things were dated or how they used? Like, how can you tell, oh, this one's German. Oh, that one's clearly French.
I'm sure it's what's in the actual minerals and the mud and the pottery themselves. Because different mud and minerals come from different regions
Exactly.
specifically, so that makes sense.
Yep. And I think they addressed, like, there was a specific pottery that was like, oh, this is definitely German because of the minerals that were found in Germany. That's why they're over here now. So that makes a lot of sense.
It's like the composition of the pottery itself. Also the style that it's made in as well.
Yeah. And so I think at the time they didn't quite have the technology to find out how accurate it was, like if it was from the 16th century.
Okay.
If this was directly, if it was, and so from the 16th century, if it was directed to that settlement, it proves that they didn't go to Hatteras Island, they went inland instead. So, again, why Croatoan? Why?
Wait. Explain that again.
Yeah. So
Explain to me like I'm 5.
So-
Michael Scott.
the tree said Croatoan.
Yes.
So they would have gone to Hatteras Island.
Yes, that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yes.
But why would they find the pottery clear the down that way?
So the pottery proved that they went that way?
So if it was like the 16th century and it was tied to that settlement,
Yeah.
it would have proven that they went that way instead. So maybe they lost their cartographer and like, oh yeah, we're going to Croatoan, but we're actually heading that way instead of that way.
You done fucked up.
You done fucked up, Jimmy.
Oh, somebody screwed. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I'm just spitballing.
Yeah.
Again.
This is all conjecture because we know nothing.
Exactly. We're throwing in our opinions, our theories too. Okay. So one of the sites back on Roanoke Island was tied to the expedition's metallurgist, the guy who deals with all the metals, Joaquin Gans
What?
is his name. Joaquin, or I think it's Joaquin Gans. He was the first practiced Jew
Like-
documented in the New World.
Like Walking Phoenix?
Yeah, like Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay. I understand now.
That's what I assume it's pronounced. Like it could have been
Where are you
Joaquin?
reading? I'm just curious.
Right here.
Oh, Joaquin. Yeah, okay, Joaquin.
I assume, but
It's not
that might not be the
Joaquin,
very
with a-
famous,
Joaquin
like Jewish name. So I could be completely saying it wrong. But he left tangible traces of that he was there because he worked in specifically copper. So around the original site, there were evidence of like where that he was at least there.
Mm.
One of the stories was that he tried to get out of there as soon as possible because of all the things that were going on. Like the supplies were bad, the food were bad. Like I am hopping a ship and I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, he's
So-
just like, I'm not going down with the ship. I'm leaving.
Exactly. So he had actually, like I said, hopped a ship with one of the traders passing by. But of course, the ship ran into a storm and the ship was never seen again.
Oh no!
Yeah.
There's a lot of shipwrecks around there.
There's a lot of shipwrecks.
Fun fact. Blackbeard ship is off the coast of North Carolina.
It is.
It is. And
Queen
there's
Anne's
a
Revenge.
Queen Anne's Revenge, yeah. Fun fact in case you didn't know that.
Yep.
I looked into the bay.
Listen to the bay.
I looked into the bay.
I think it was at my grandpa's beach house that he had, like, there was a map that showed like all the different like shipwrecks that were there.
Mm-hmm.
And there were ones from like early 15th, 16th century, Revolutionary War, Civil War, and what I thought was interesting, there was a lot of U-boat sinkings.
Oh.
So World War II, there were
so
German
close.
U-boats.
So close to the U.S.
Yep.
Stop it. That's scary.
It's sketch.
Ooh.
So, yeah, they were just right off the coast sometimes.
Love that for us.
Spooky, 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 spooky.
Spooky, spooky.
All right.
Oh, wow.
So with all the different theories and everything going on, the scientists just kind of just chalk it down to a hybrid of everything happening. So dispersion, everyone kind of went their ways. Assimilation, they went to one certain group, and perhaps just fragmented over time. Everything just,
People kind of went their separate ways.
people went their separate ways.
That also is another thing, too. They could have went there, and then people said, hey, I want to go do this.
Exactly.
I want to go here and there and everywhere.
Exactly. So as much as we, travel down the English route of what happened to them, you can't forget about the people that were already here. So the natives. The
Mhm.
Croatoan, which were the Algonquian-speaking communities that were around the Outer Banks,
Okay.
and their descendants. So the narrative of the Lost Colonies often erases marginalized native or perspectives, which implies English were the only people there. But no,
Yeah, no.
these people were there, these people were here. There were just so many different groups and that they needed to say, hey, this could have gone multiple different ways and multiple different stories need to be shared. How a lot of, which I wish I could have dove a little bit deeper into some of these, which says like oral traditions, which means like stories passed down from like ancestors to generations into generations, and local memory and indigenous scholars are often dismissed, but I feel like they should be included a lot more in the story. So
Sorry, say that thought again.
With the different groups of people, like you have the traditional way of like passing down stories is just by mouth. Like, oh, this story happened this way, and eventually turns into like a myth or a legend. You gotta always take myths and legends with also with a grain of salt, but also with a magnifying glass. Like, oh, but like, was this true? So I feel like a lot of their stories could have like helped us know what happened.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But of course, in those days, up until like recent history, even still today, there was just so much like
So much change.
and of course, like the racism and colonization,
Yeah.
conquering, and all that stuff. So a lot of the records could have been destroyed, dismissed, and just all altogether lost.
Well, absolutely.
So unfortunately, could that have been a huge, huge like evidence that we could have had to know what happened? Yes. But we're left with what we got.
Yep, we're SOL. SOL.
So, all of this, just leaves so many open questions. I wrote some down that I could think of. Where are the bodies? If there was a massacre, if there was famine, if there was disease, why weren't there graves?
Yeah, that's my big thing. I don't think anything happened there. I think they left. I'm 100% convinced that they left. What was the
aliens? They were taken.
Aliens. No, I don't know. I think that they left. I think that they left to where they said they were going. Because there's a lot of reasons why that pottery but even like the rocks, even if they're potentially true, that they could have ended up that way. There's trade, like you said, there was a lot of other native things. And they could have split ways too once they got there.
Mm-hmm.
They could have.
They just got tired of waiting. Like you said, you're going to be back in a couple months. It's been a few years. Peace.
It's hard because there's not solid evidence that they were in any one place.
Yeah.
At all. And there's not a whole lot of evidence they even went to Croatoan. But I mean, it makes sense that at least they headed that direction, that they were going that way.
Right.
So.
Tying off that.
No.
Going off of that, that's one of my open-ended questions. Where is the village or settlement if they did go there? Like there should be like huts. There should have been like more evidence found when they were digging through those archaeological sites. Like there should have been something there.
Well, not necessarily, because what if they joined forces with the natives and they my theory is that what if the natives took them in? Because they said that there were descendants that had English stuff that had English DNA. Like, would it make sense if some of the native people took them in and they adopted them into their tribes? Yeah. I don't know if that's a thing or if that's even remotely what could have happened, but that's theory.
Yeah, I felt like I said, I had it in there somewhere where it read descendants had different traits than some English traits. So I was like, that probably could have just happened that they just mingled, and I mean that could have happened with a bunch of other different settlements too. So how do you know which one was which? Was it this settlement, that settlement?
Because there's so many.
Yeah,
there were so many, and they could have ended up in all different places. Unless they just unless the natives killed them off one by one. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like as a mass. I don't know. I do feel like I do feel like we could still easily miss a mass grave. Because, I mean,
there's so much land.
There's so much we haven't even found. They're still finding ancient cities in North America, they thought were just hills, and they're like, oh wait, that was actually this big ancient castle from the Aztec. I don't know.
Yeah, they gotta start doing more of the. What's the date? Is it dating? Just carbon dating of just shooting? They have the.
It's the air.
Things that can just shoot through the earth.
It's like the drone.
Yeah.
It's like a drone that can show you. I forgot what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's fun to watch on the History Channel.
I want to watch more documentaries. It's just stuff excites me.
I have a few good documentaries we could look at together that does that same exact thing.
Exactly.
It's cool. Anyway.
All right. The next one was how many moved where?
Yeah,
was it a
that's
mass exodus, or was it, like, I don't think your idea was right. I'm gonna go this with my people that think we're we know what we're talking about. Well, you can do that. You go your way. Where was it? Where?
yeah,
How many and where?
yeah.
And then what is the role of weather? Oh, sorry.
I was like, well, they all left.
Yeah,
They
all
all
left.
left the settlement, the original settlement. So it's like I feel like I don't know. I feel like they all went somewhere and then maybe split up or, yeah. At least they all left there. We know that much.
Yes, they left there.
There.
They left there. So what is the role of weather, disease, or drought?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, on the coast, you're gonna get hit with storms, I mean, I think humidity was such a big thing because they lived in London. But like, there's so many factors like, oh, let's move inland, or like maybe they did all pack up and they went on the next trading ship that showed up and were hit by a storm and are one of
That's
the
true.
shipwrecks that are out there that maybe haven't been discovered yet.
That's true.
Yep.
That's a plausibility.
Mm-hmm. And then how to distinguish English artifacts from later trade flow.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to navigate down, I would imagine.
Yeah. And then kind of one of the last things we talked about was what voices are silenced, which is probably all those things and oral traditions that were passed down from generation from the native groups that, they were just blown off. Like, no, you're wrong. This can't happen. And what happened to them?
I'm like, somebody knows.
Yeah.
Probably not anymore. Who's passed on, but somebody at one point knew what happened.
Mm-hmm. It's in a secret book somewhere. We'll never know.
Secret book somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna kidnap the president.
Get the president's book. It has
Yeah,
all the
that's what I'm talking
secrets.
about. I'm like, oh gosh, Secret Service, don't come for me. I'm just being Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Still
Everyone
the
quotes
Declaration
it.
of Independence.
I'm still the president.
We've got to kidnap. What is it? He has to kidnap. What does he say in the second movie? Or is it?
I'm gonna
kidnap?
kidnap him. I'm gonna kidnap the president of the United States.
That's what it is. Don't put that as a sound clip.
Mhm.
Just that. It's on social media. I'm gonna steal the
Yes.
president. Oh my gosh. Okay. Cough, cough.
All right. So in closing, the mystery matters for more than just solving centuries-old puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
It touches on how we think about American origins,
Mm-hmm.
colonialism, and memory.
Yep.
The story of Roanoke is often taught as a vanished colony, a cautionary tale of European hubris, which is self-confidence or pride.
Okay.
But if part of the story is assimilation, displacement, or contact, then the narrative is richer, though less tidy.
Hmm.
It also reminds us of the limits of archival history.
Sad but true.
Yes. What is preserved, who records it, who lets it stay in history, and who burns it, and whose voices are marginalized.
Yeah.
Archaeology, oral history, and community collaboration are essential correctives.
It just shows you that we really know so little.
Mm-hmm.
We really do. Like, even we've come so far, but we have so much more to go.
Yes.
And it's sad but true. It's one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we even think we know things, but we don't know shit. We don't know nothing.
And so, we are left with a carved word, scattered clues, and century-old debating.
Hmm.
So, with that, I say, if you're interested in this, definitely go look up the many different resources. The Smithsonian, the National Park Service, there's books entitled The Lost Colony. There's just so many different places you can find the writers' theories, different scientist theories, and what else you can find. And hey, maybe you'll come up with your own, and maybe just get that itch to go and dig up some history and find what happened, and you will be the one to tell us what happened to the lost colony. Dun dun.
Dun dun. Yeah, let us know. Let us know in on our social media. We'll make a post and let us know what you think.
Yes.
Tell us your thoughts, or even send us your thoughts on our email.
Because that is what our society can do. We can have educational debates
We can.
and go off each other's ideas.
Yeah.
Maybe we agree with each other all the time. No, but that's the glory of debating things.
I don't even agree with myself half the time.
Like, I hardly ever agree with you anyway.
For being honest, I'm like, oh my gosh. Was that everything?
That's everything.
Wow. We just don't know a lot, do we?
Mm-mm.
Wild.
I really want to, if I could, I just want to win the lottery so I can go off and do like just history stuff. Like, if anyone's ever seen the Sahara, I want to do what those guys do. Derek and Al Giardino.
That was one of the first movies I watched at your house.
Yep.
When I was a teenager. Fun fact, Aaron and I met in high school.
Yeah.
We actually, no, that's a lie. We let...
A little bit before that.
Before that, we met in 8th grade, but we got with each other really more in high school, and that's one of the first movies I watched was Sahara. And this kid was all about it. It's a good movie.
It's one of my top 3 favorite movies.
He's educated me on Matthew McConaughey.
McConaughey.
And many a firsts.
Yes.
Since. Like I said, don't forget to follow us on all the fun things. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Patreon.
Like I said, we love to do this stuff, but we would love to do more, and the support would help us to help you and help us.
Yes. But if you guys made it to the end of the episode, thank you so much. We appreciate the crap out of you. You deserve to have every side of your pillow cold.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve to be the first in line at everything.
To get the green lights all the way to work.
Yes.
When you're behind, instead of every single time it's running into every red light.
Yes, you deserve all the green lights.
And a solid high five.
And a solid high, a crisp high five.
Crisp high five.
Oh my gosh, I'm dead. Well, if that's everything, we will see you later, guys.
And sip carefully.